La 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 la.
Thousands pass by every day on South Grand or I-44, but how many ever stop? How many ever ask what it is or why it is? It's overlooked most of everything in the city since 1898. It was a big draw for tourists during that big fair back in '04. And a century and change removed from that World's Fair, people still come to the Compton Heights Water Tower on the first Saturdays of April to November. They still marvel that it's still here, and like those tourists back then, they still climb the 198 steps to the top. 33, 34, 35, the tower was a tall 36, part of the city water system for 30 years. There's a huge standpipe in the middle of the tower. It equalized water pressure for those fancy 2- and 3-story homes the rich folk were building back then. 146, 147.
Old people make this climb. I mean, really old people.
178. After being taken out of service and just standing for half a century, the old standpipe and the tower were restored in the 90s because, well, just because. And now, 700 feet up, the highest, best, 360 degrees 1898 had to offer. And still, the best view 2011 has to offer, where you don't have to ride a tram or buy a cocktail.
Well, I live like 7 blocks away.
And you've never been up here?
There's a great view to the downtown skyline, west to Clayton, southeast to the brewery and beyond. And even though you'd think Santa's workshop should be visible to the north, you still can't see far enough to see Old White, further north on Grand. This water tower has been called the biggest, most perfect Corinthian column in the world, and it's stood here at Grand and 20th since 1871. It's another big standpipe, still towering because, well, just because. And a few blocks away, at Bissell and Blair, another water tower. Cleverly, they call this one New Red. It was built in 1912 and restored in the 70s because, well, because we really like odd places to keep our water around here, I guess. There's a festival every year over in Collinsville, Illinois, to celebrate their beloved catsup bottle. Generations of St. Clair, Missouri kids probably grew up thinking this really was where the hot and cold came from, because once upon a time, somebody at City Hall thought it was amusing. And it is.
It's hard to keep the hot water tower hot this time of year.
That kind of aqueous humor isn't always the case. If it was, this tower a few miles west in Crawford County would say bourbon, all right. But shouldn't this one say water? The 3 towers in the city are just standpipes. Ugh, standpipes is such an ugly word, but they're beautiful. They're some of the absolutely rare St. Louis things that we haven't torn down, that we've kept. Why? Just because. Cool, huh?
La 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 la.